Yeah.
Um, do you want to, let's meet our students.
Yes.
Want to say hi? Come in and say hi.
Can you say hi?
Hi. Hi. What's your name?
Vera.
Vera. Hi, Vera.
Your name is Mira? My daughter's name is Mira.
Vera with a V.
Oh, Vera. Oh,
You're but close.
yes. Well, Vera with a V.
Um,
Her sister Elizabeth is finishing up a math test.
okay.
And then she'll join us.
Okay, great. Vera, how old are you?
5.
You're 5. And you were with us last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the yoga practice that we did last week? You're on the spot, aren't you? It's kind of scary being on the spot like that, isn't it? All the attention is on you.
Where do you guys live?
In Monrovia.
Oh, in Monrovia, up north. Okay. I live in Studio City. And Carol?
And I am right now in Sherman Oaks. And yeah, we'll be likely staying in Sherman Oaks. And some changes happening there too. But why don't we get started? So Rebecca, are you going to be joining us too with the practice?
I will, unless I start getting too many work emails. I'm going to put that upside down and hope I can join for the whole time.
Great. Okay. So let's come into what's called Sukhasana, which is easy pose. And that's just where you sit with a cross-legged position. I'm going to try to show my camera there. So like with your knees out to the side. Yeah, exactly. You got it. So to begin, we're going to close our eyes and then focus on the breath in the body. So what I want you to do is notice where and how your body moves as you inhale. So notice if your chest is moving as you inhale. And what does it do when you exhale? Does your chest get bigger and wider when you inhale? And does it get smaller when you exhale? These are just things to observe. So still with the eyes closed, in easy position. Now focus on your breath as it moves your belly. So that means, is your belly getting bigger as you inhale or smaller as you inhale? It should be getting bigger. And then as you exhale, it should be getting smaller. Okay, good. So now we're gonna play with our breath and we're gonna change it. And we're gonna make the chest bigger and smaller, and we're gonna make the belly bigger and smaller using our breath. So what we're gonna do is on the inhale, we're gonna pause in the middle and then inhale again. So the way it's gonna start is you're gonna breathe and try to fill your belly up with your breath, and then you're gonna pause, and then you're gonna fill up your chest with breath. So it's all one big inhale, and there's breath totally in the body, and it's all expanding everything out. Somebody's hiding there. And then when we exhale, we're gonna do that in 2 parts also. So when we exhale, we're gonna push the air out from the chest, and then we're gonna pause, and then we're gonna push the rest of the air out from the belly. You wanna try with me? So close your eyes again. Now inhale and fill up your belly. Pause, and then inhale and fill up your chest. Hold the breath in, and then exhale the breath from your chest, and then exhale the rest of your breath from the belly. Let's try that again. Inhale again, first in the belly, and then in the chest. And then exhale from the chest, and then the belly. Want to try that one more time? Okay, so yeah, okay. So you're gonna inhale again, first in the belly, and then inhale in the chest. Hold your breath, and then exhale from your chest, and then exhale the rest of the air from the belly. Good. And then you can breathe normally. So what that does is it helps to really give your blood and your cells and your lungs more oxygen, and it also helps to calm you down a little bit. And I see you're laying down, so maybe you're too calm. So let's start moving. Does that sound good? Yeah. So go ahead and let your mat be out long in front of you. And then you'll come to hands and knees. So like a tabletop position like we did last week. Do you remember the poses that we did when we were inhaling and then bringing the belly down and then looking up? And that one, does anyone remember the name? This
No.
one's, what?
No.
No, so this is called cow. Cow is when your belly goes down and your head goes up. And then in the opposite direction, your cat, yeah. So you're gonna exhale and then push your belly up and then look down at your belly. So go ahead and do a few of those. Inhale, chest and belly go down and the head goes up, and then exhale in the opposite direction into cat. Yeah. And again, inhale, look up, and then exhale and down. Good, and then you can make some free movements here. So if you wanna make circles with your hips, and then as if you're gonna sit down on your hips, you're gonna just make a huge circle with your hips all the way around, like you're stirring a big pot with your tail. Yeah, just like that, yeah. And then go in the other direction. A little harder, isn't it? In the other direction. Going around and around. Just a couple more times. Good. And then come to your tabletop position. Yeah. So in your tabletop position, your knees should be a little bit wider so that there's space in between them. So think of a table and how the legs of a table are spaced out apart and they're even with each other. Yeah, maybe not that wide, a little bit closer together, Ellie and Vera both. Little closer. Yeah, and then bring your hands closer, Vera, so that they're, yeah, just like that. So this is tabletop. So now, do you remember when we did this one last week? We take one arm out in front. You already got it, Vera. And then your opposite leg goes out behind you. And then you balance like a teeter-totter that's not moving. It's hard. So the balance comes from the belly button. Remember, Ren 8. And then bring everything down. Yeah, and then use your other side. So the other hand goes out and then the opposite leg, and then you balance here. It takes a lot of strength to maintain that balance. So put your hand out so that that's facing inward. So Vera, let your hand face your mom. Like, it's hard to describe. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. And then, and then come down. It's hard to balance sometimes. Good, so that starts to strengthen your core. So, so that's a really good way to build more strength in your body. All right, so now let's come all the way up. Let's stand up together. Can you see me? Let's see, okay. So now we're gonna be mountains. So you'll want to stand with your feet hip distance apart. So hip distance means put your hands on your hips. Now look at where your fingers are, where the top parts of your fingers are. That's the front of your hips. So if you draw a line from your fingertips down to the floor, that's where your first and second toes should be. And that's hip distance. Yeah, so maybe a little tiny bit wider, Ellie. Just a little bit, yeah, there you go. That looks right. Yeah. So from here, we're gonna firm up all of our muscles. So spread your toes wide and then pull your kneecaps up by strengthening your thigh muscles on the front. So we're building a mountain with our bodies. We're gonna be strong like a mountain. And then you're gonna tone up your belly button. Do you know what that means when I say tone up your belly button? And then shrug your shoulders up to your ears and then take your shoulder blades back. So you're gonna bring them backwards like this and then palms face forward. Drop your shoulders down a little bit more, Ellie. Yeah. And then imagine a string at the top of your head pulling the crown of your head up. Yeah. So this is Tadasana, mountain pose. And this is a very strong position to be in. This is an anatomically correct position. And this is a variation of all the poses. Like we will always want to find this type of alignment in all of the poses. Now spread and lift your toes up off the ground. Good. And then put your toes down and rock forward as if you're gonna lift up onto your toes, but don't lift up all the way. Just rock forward. And then rock your weight back onto your heels. And then come forward again and find the center. Find the center of that rocking position, from rocking back and forth. Don't fall over. You got to be a strong mountain, right? So finding the center of where your feet are is also key to this position. Okay, so we're building on last week's practice and kind of going through some of the things more quickly because we're going to get into some other ones. So now take all the weight and shift it over to your left foot. So you're going to shift everything to your left foot and then lift your right foot up. Yeah. Now grab your ankle and plant your foot onto the limb of your tree. And we're going to be trees on top of the mountain. This again is another balancing pose. So this is easy to fall down on. Good. And then bring your hands in front of your chest. And then you can let your limbs grow, let your branches grow out long and tall. Beautiful. And then as soon as you fall over, just get right back in. Yeah. It's a hard balancing pose. And then kick your foot out and then bring it down. So for me, my left leg is harder to balance on. So now you're going to compare left versus right. Okay, so now you're going to shift all your weight onto your right leg. And then lift your left leg up, grab your ankle, and plant the branch onto the trunk. Yeah, and so not on the knee itself, but either above or below the knee is where you're going to plant your branch. It's hard to balance in, but if you fall out, just get right back in like you guys are doing. Good, and then let your branches on the top grow only if you're stable. So first you want to make sure you've got that stability. What's helpful here is to push the foot into the trunk and push the thigh back into the foot. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. And then grow your branches. And then kick your foot out and release. Good job. Tree. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of a flow movement. So we're going to come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. That's where you're standing in your anatomically correct position. Hips distance apart, good memory. Yeah. And then bring your hands in front of your chest. Now we're going to circle sweep your arms all the way up as you inhale. So arms go all the way up above your head. Bring your palms together. And then as you exhale, you're going to fold at the waist. And then you're going to touch the ground. Keep your legs as straight as you can. If you can't touch the ground, then you can bend your knees until you can get your fingers on the floor. Good. Now while you're here, grab both of your elbows with both of your hands and sway left and right to the side, one side and then the other. So let your head dangle down and sway side to side. Yeah. Now plant your right hand down between your feet, right under your nose. And then open your left hand up to the sky and then look up at the sky. Yeah. Keep your legs semi-straight. Good job, Ellie. And then come back down. Plant that hand right where the other one was. And then open up your chest to the other side and look up at the ceiling. Yeah, beautiful. And release back down. Good. Come back to your folded over position. Plant your hands on your shins and then flatten your back like that tabletop we were in. Look forward. Inhale. And then exhale and fold back down. Now we're going to circle sweep our arms all the way up to the top. So you're going to come to a standing position with your arms all the way out and up. Push your palms together and then bring them down in front of your chest. Yeah. Good. So ready to do that one more time? Yeah? Okay. So inhale, circle sweep your arms again all the way up. And exhale and fold at the waist and touch the floor with your fingertips, and you can bend your knees if you need to. Now plant your hands on your shins, flatten your back, look forward, inhale. Exhale, fold back down. And then inhale, circle sweep your arms all the way up. Come all the way up to standing, push your palms together, and then bring your hands down in front of your chest. Beautiful, yogis. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to add on to that. So we'll do that same thing, and now we're going to do extra. So inhale, circle sweep your arms up. Push the palms together and then exhale, fold at the waist and touch the ground with your fingertips. And it's okay if you bend your knees. Now plant your palms on your shins, straighten your legs, flatten your back, look forward, inhale. Exhale, fold back down. Now you're gonna bend, you're gonna plant your palms on the mat. You bend your knees till you can do it. Maybe walk all the way towards the top of your mat. So if you're at the back, you're just gonna walk forward. Yeah. Good. Now plant your palms onto the mat. You can bend your knees till you can do it. And then you're gonna step back with just your feet. Keep your hands right where they are. And then you're gonna be in a plank position as if you're gonna do a push-up. Look at your mom, you guys. Yeah, just like that. Now look at your wrists and make sure that they're straight across like the top of your mat. Yeah, there you go. Good, now lower your knees down to the mat, just the knees, and then you're gonna bend your elbows backwards and lower your chest down. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, good, good. Now slither forward like a snake until your whole body is down on the mat, the front part of your body. Ooh, I need a camera person. And then you're gonna push up onto your hands and lift the back part of your body. So the front part of your body is down on the mat, you see? So the whole thing is down and the only thing you're lifting is the front part of your body, your torso, your chest, and your abdomen. Yeah. And then from here, you're gonna tuck your toes under and use your strength in your hands to push yourself up. And then you're gonna take your hips back into downward facing dog. Beautiful, gorgeous. Good. Now bend both knees and come high up onto your toes. Lift your booty up in the air. So you're bending your knees just a little bit and you're lifting your tail all the way up into the air. Now straighten your legs and push your heels down towards the mat, but keep that lift in your tail. Yeah. Downward facing dog. Now look between your hands and step your right foot forward between your hands. Great. Drop your back knee down and then lift your torso and your arms up and then bring your arms up by the sides of your ears. Beautiful. So this is Anjaneyasana. And then you can stretch forward a little bit and feel that stretch on the front part of your thigh, of your left thigh. And then you can look up if you feel stable. You can look up between your hands. And then come back, bring your hands down to the sides of the foot, and then step that foot back into our plank position, just like we had done before, top of a push-up. And then lower your knees down. And then lower your chest down. And now slide forward like a snake. Point your toes and lift your chest up using your arms. Yeah, good. So this is called cobra. So you're like a cobra snake and you're pulling the whole back part of your body is like one piece of a snake. You're pulling it forward. Good, now tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and take them back. Once again, downward facing dog. Good. Push your chest towards your thighs and try to push your heels down towards the mat. Good. Now take your left foot and step it between your hands. Good. Drop your back knee down and then lift your torso up. Yeah, gorgeous. It's a little bit of a balance here too. And then you can come forward once again and feel that stretch on the right side. And if you feel balanced, only if you feel balanced, you can look up. But if you don't, then focus on a point in front of you to keep that balance. It's hard. And then take your hands down to the sides of the foot and step, bring your back knee up, flip the toes under, bring your back knee up, and then step your front foot to the back into plank position. Good. Lower the knees, lower the chest and the chin. And then slide forward, cobra, and then lift your torso up. Beautiful. Flip your toes under, lift your hips up, take it back, downward facing dog. Yeah. Good. Now bring both knees down onto the mat. And then come up so that you are on your knees. Now you're going to separate your feet so that they're about as wide as the mat. And then you're going to bring your knees closer together, and then you're going to sit between your heels. Oh, you guys can do it really well. This one can be a really hard one for a lot of people. You guys are pretty flexible here. So this is Virasana. It's like Vira, it's Virasana. And Rebecca, if you're not totally down and if it feels uncomfortable, you can put a book or roll up your mat or sit on something. Otherwise, if you're comfortable, then you can stay right where you are. But Ellie, you're down all the way, right? You are sitting down on the floor. So you want your knees to be together. So you're sitting actually between your heels in this one. It can be a little bit painful. Okay, now come back up onto your hands and knees, and then you're gonna kick your feet down into the ground. Good, and then take your legs out in front of you. So for this, you don't need to sit on a pillow, but just sit on your mat. Good. So with both legs out in front of you, now you're going to take the inside of your left leg and then pull it like we did with the tree, but now you're seated. And then keep your right leg straight in front of you, and then you're going to fold your chest over your leg and try to touch the knee and the nose together. And it's okay if it doesn't go. Do you have a question, Ellie?
Statement. We do this stretch in jazz.
In where? In gym?
Jazz.
Oh, in jazz class. Nice. Yeah, this one is a great one for your hamstrings, which help to get you to move those legs really well. Yeah, I can see that you're good at it. Good job. Okay, and then come back up, straighten the bent leg, and then bend the opposite leg. And then you're gonna fold over the straight leg Yeah, and once again, the ultimate goal is to see if you can get your knee and your nose to touch without bending the leg, but it can take a long time to get to that place. Nice. So take a few nice deep breaths here. And as you're in this position, you're holding this position and you're breathing, you'll start to find that you can actually stretch further and further. So maybe you can touch your toes. Yeah, just like that. And then keep holding the toes. And you'll find you can get closer and closer and closer to your knee with your nose. Yeah, there you go. Good. And then release. Straighten your bent leg out in front of you and then shake your knees out. Good, and then you're gonna come to laying down all the way onto your back. So lay all the way down. Good. So bend your knees and plant your feet so that they're directly in front of your sitting bones. And then you're gonna lift your hips up, straight up into the sky. Ellie, widen your feet just a little bit. Make your feet a little, yeah, there you go. Good. And then really try to reach those hips up. And then you can take your shoulder blades back so you can walk onto your shoulders. Yeah, perfect. And maybe once you're there, you can interlace your fingers underneath you. Good. And then release your hands out to the sides, drop your hips down, and then take your knees up into your chest and give yourself a hug. Good, and then you can rock side to side on your sitting bones. Or on your tailbone, not your sitting bone. Good, and then straighten your legs out in front of you. And we'll do the final pose, which is called Shavasana. So we're gonna be laying down for this one. Your legs are gonna be about as wide as the mat, and then your arms are gonna be down by your sides with your hands facing up. Close your eyes and let everything in your body relax completely. So relax your toes, relax your legs, relax your thighs, relax the yoga mat, relax your belly, relax your hands and your arms and your shoulders. Let everything melt into the mat. Feel gravity pulling all of your tissues down towards the earth. Relax your tongue in your mouth. Relax your cheeks. And let your eyes fall back into their sockets. Relax your forehead. And let everything come into stillness. Okay, begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms all the way up over your head. Stretch your whole body out long, like a nice morning stretch. And then bring your knees up towards your chest and give yourself a hug once again. Roll all the way over to your right side, either side, and then use your hands to push yourself up to a seated position in easy pose, Sukhasana. And we'll bring our hands in front of the chest in a prayer position. Bow your head to your hands. Thank you guys for showing up today and practicing and taking care of yourselves and your bodies.
Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome. Namaste.
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 Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Until next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. We'll be here again next week, so tune in again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, Carol.
Awesome.
Yuka.
Thank